itself. The president is the supreme commander of the defense forces of India. So he is having wide ranging of powers. Okay, these were the some powers and functions of the president of India. Again, this is the important question. Now, some limitations are there for the president of India. What limitations are there? The president is the head of the state and not the head of the government. Yes, he is the head of the state. He is not the head of the government. The head of the government is the prime minister. Therefore, he exercises only nominal powers, and that too on the advice of the council of ministers. Yes, he whatever the power he is having, that is in practical, that is enjoyed by prime minister and its council of ministers. The president can ask the council of ministers to reconsider its advice, but if the same advice is given again, he/she is bound to act according to it. President, suppose any proposal is sent to president for its signing or approval. So if president return it without any suggestions, the council of minister advise him to reconsider. But if the same advice is given again, he or she has to sign or approve the proposal. A bill passed by the parliament becomes a law only after the president gives assent to it. If the president wants, he/she can delay this for some time and send the bill back to the parliament for reconsideration. But if the parliament passes the bill again, he/she has to sign it. Okay, in case now children, when and how does the president exercise his discretion? Discretion means special powers. Okay. Normally, when a party or coalition of parties gets a clear majority in the election, the president has to appoint the leader of the majority party or the coalition that enjoys majority support in the Lok Sabha. But when no party or coalition gets a majority in the Lok Sabha, the president exercises his discretion. The president appoints a leader who in his opinion can muster majority support in the Lok Sabha, means can prove his majority in Lok Sabha. In such case, the president can ask the newly appointed to prove majority in the Lok Sabha within a specified time. He gives some specific time to the political party or the leader of the political party to prove his majority, and the majority is required 2/3 of total number of seats. Okay, 2/3 majority of total number of seats is the seats are required to prove the majority for the government. Now, next the third institution, political institution, is judiciary. Judiciary basically is one such organ of the government which is responsible for maintaining peace, law and order within the country and protect the laws, is responsible for protecting laws. So all the courts at different levels in the country are collectively called judiciary. This is the meaning of the judiciary. It is independent and powerful institution and is considered essential for democracy. It is one of the important political institution within a democratic country. The Indian judiciary consists of a Supreme Court for the entire nation, High Court in the states, and district courts at the local level. The judiciary in India is also one of the most powerful in the world. Yes, because it is one of the independent institution of the country. Now, how the judges are appointed and removed. So, this is the procedure. The judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court are appointed by the President or the advice of Prime Minister and in consultation with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. The senior most judge of the Supreme Court is usually appointed the Chief Justice. Once a person is appointed as judge of the Supreme Court and High Court, it is nearly impossible to remove him or her from his position. A judge can be removed only by an impeachment. Impeachment actually is a process. Okay, and this is a legal process passed by separately by the 2/3 members of the two houses of the parliament. Okay, and this is the process only can be used to remove the judges of the Supreme Court or High Court from their post. It has never happened in the history of Indian democracy. Yes, since the beginning of judiciary, since the formation of the judiciary till today, this impeachment is not applied against any judge of the country. Now, powers and functions of the judiciary. So, judiciary in India is one of the most powerful judiciary in the world. India has an integrated judiciary. It means the Supreme Court controls the judicial administration within the country. Now, what are the powers? The first is settle the disputes. It settles the disputes between the citizens, between citizen and the government, between two or more states, between government at the union and state level. Means all kinds of disputes, whether the dispute arises between among the citizens, between the government and citizen,